What's up, you guys? I'm back with a new video of the new for the YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell twice for post notifications. Yeah, man, it's gonna be the same video I started. I'll probably delete that other video. I was having problems with my computer. But dude, funny, he called her a big ass broad. Man, hope everybody having a happy Friday. Make sure you drink some water, drink some juice. Sorry about that. Drink some water, drink some juice, eat some fruit, eat some vegetables. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, enjoy your weekend. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. Trying to get some shit together. Baby, that's that, right?
None of this makes any sense. If it's not her file, then it should have never been presented as her file before. Your Honor, at this time I'm going to move for a mistrial on behalf of Mr. Stillwell.
She has not seen the photograph in the context that was presented to her.
No, this is inappropriate.
Sustained. You may re-ask the question. Overruled.
The original question I am horrible.
She just said this dude is horrible.
I heard her say something. It's being picked up by the mic. And it's just inappropriate. I think it's simple enough to tell her to not make any extraneous comments. I've been told by multiple sources the witness said horrible. Horrible? Horrible.
What? By counsel for the defendants as we stop these proceedings to address something nobody heard but apparently Mr. Adams.
Oh my, I hate her. We all heard that big sassy broad say something. K-140 of the Young Thug YSL RICO trial was baffling. Defense lawyers cross-examined Detective Gaither and Mislav objects around 100 times in a single day. Gaither is caught mumbling on a hot mic, insulting defense lawyers. Once again, I can't believe this is real. Mislav tries to deny that Gaither said anything, which is baffling because we're on a live stream. We're all being gaslit by Mislav in today's video. No court for the next 7 days. I don't know why. Hit subscribe. Here we go, boys. First look at Thug on day 140. Shannon Stillwell behind him. Finishing up Detective Gaither up on the stand.
YSL, Zachary, Trontavious Stevens, and Kenneth Copeland.
And where is it that they are standing?
BP gas station located at Cleveland Avenue and Old Hayden Road.
Shannon, Mungtunk, and Quindarius Zachary, even though we've already seen about 10 pictures of them three together, but gotta make sure the jury sees the 10th one, right?
And would you tell the jury the person whose face is shown on the screen at this moment in the upper left-hand portion?
Shannon Jackson.
And the one in the middle?
Look at this dumb shit.
Do you know somebody that just picked up the guitar and learned how to play in a very short time? Well, I do. When I started playing, I got exactly this kind of friend who drove me mad.
In the middle?
Antonio Slade.
And the one on the far right side as we face the photograph?
Quindarius Zachary.
Was posted to Mr. Zachary's Twitter account?
November 1st, 2014.
And what is the caption underneath the date of the post?
3 green snake emojis with a red heart. YSL, the number 3 emoji, the number 0 emoji with the word deep. This represents the gang 30 deep because it's a member of 30 deep within the picture.
Get Gaither off the stand. We've seen all this a million times. You know what's funny? This tweet is literally almost exactly 10 years ago. Think about how crazy that is. 10 years. 3,650 days ago.
Demikian Garlington.
That's the clearest picture we've gotten of Demikian ever. He's a co-defendant who's severed, so that's why he's not testifying or anything. Because he was actually charged, unlike old D. Oh, look, more pictures of Shannon and Quindarius. Because we haven't seen any pictures of them, right?
Shannon Jackson and Quindarius Zachary. Jeffrey Williams with a white jacket, and Kenneth Copeland with a red hoodie.
Because we haven't seen pictures of Thug and 40 together. Oh, right, we've seen like 50. Because we haven't seen pictures of Club Crucial sign. Oh, wait, we that like 3 times. Because we haven't seen pictures side Club Crucial. Oh, wait, we've actually 4 times.
I believe he stated Mr. Copeland was jumping the club. Mr. Zachary was inside with Mr. Williams. After the fight, exited the club. Another fight happened with Bloody J, where Bloody J was hit in the face. Mr. Zachary stated that he stayed inside with Mr. Williams while everyone else went outside and got their guns.
We've heard about Quindarius and Thugs staying inside the club while everyone else has guns and goes out probably 3 times.
They exited the club. Members of 30 Deep YSL began to shoot at vehicles with Mr. Shell Carroll, which is Kelvin Watts, and other members of IFGANG.
Did you have the means during the incident at Adele Andrew Drive?
Yes.
And were able to corroborate or disprove for your purposes any of the information that Mr. Zachary gave you on August 5th, 2015 based on those?
Yes.
So Steele's saying no foundation for this. She was getting into corroborating Quindarius said with phone records, pretty much, like matching it.
Mr. Zachary gave several different statements, including one that he wasn't there. So we need to know, for that question to be answered, what version of events Mr. Zachary gave that day being compared to the phone record.
He wanted me to tell him what information I already had. He wanted me to start the interview.
We heard this yesterday. She literally said he didn't want had to say yesterday. We heard this yesterday.
Why did you talk to him for a minute after getting information that he wasn't there? Did you believe that he actually wasn't there?
No, I already knew that he was there. I like to give people the opportunity to just say whatever it is they want to say, and once I confront them with facts or information that I already know, more than likely it kind of persuades them to just tell the truth.
Why did Mr. Zachary's explanation regarding being from Capitol Homes, him being from Capitol Homes, Moonsook being from Capitol Homes, and Tay being from Capitol Homes, have any significance to you?
Sustained.
I showed a prior relationship
Between,
those 3 individuals.
okay, despite the fact that Tay was MDC and Mr. Zachary and Mr. Sledge were YSL?
Yes, it showed their continued alliance, even though they were from different gangs and lived on different sides of town. Presently, it showed their prior relationship from their roots, which was Capitol Homes.
How much time are we going to waste establishing relationships with these people?
Mr. Zachary talked about Defendant Williams having during the time of Donovan Thomas's murder. You yourself.
Not for the murder, no.
Was that something that Detective Thorpe was primarily responsible for, or was that?
Yes, that was his case. He was a primary.
Before you heard the name Juwop from Quindarius Zachary, did you know Justin Cobb to be affiliated with any gang?
No.
And did you ever classify or get information that caused you to believe that he was or wasn't?
Confrontation clause.
Overruled.
I don't recall. I don't believe so. Investigated this, and I went to Vault Studios and retrieved the video surveillance. Well, recorded it and had, I believe, investigative team retrieve the actual video, but we saw a group of vehicles leaving Vault Studios shortly before the Lil Wayne bus shooting.
I'm going to object to best evidence rule if there's a video.
Okay, overruled.
I saw the video that we obtained, and it showed a group of vehicles leaving the studio before the shooting and arriving back to the studio after the shooting.
Okay. Have you ever had interviews sort of forced to decide or determine whether somebody is trying to put blame here to get blame from somewhere else during your time as an investigator with the gang unit?
Sustained.
During your interview with Quindarius Zachary, did he give you any indication that his reason for talking to you was to get Shannon in trouble and get Demikion or Woody or Moonton out of trouble?
Objection, Your Honor, bolstering.
Dude, Miss Love stinks. She needs Scentbird fragrances from Scentbird.com. Non-stop compliments.
Hey, yo.
God his comes in. This is the most % off your first. She know that. Like, it's...
Yeah, Miss Love a trip.
To bolster.
What?
You may answer that question.
No, it didn't appear that he just wanted to get them in trouble. I took it as he wanted to try to help himself as much as he can by providing truthful information.
That's speculation.
No, man. Like I said, I think it's gonna be a mistrial. There's probably a lot of people watching this case, man. I think it's about to be a mistrial. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's get it.
Overruled. Well, sustained as to speculation.
Okay.
I also have a motion, Your Honor.
You have a
Motion.
All right.
Oh boy, he doesn't like something. I think it has something to do with what Gaither said there.
Your Honor, at this time I'm going to move for a mistrial on behalf of Mr. Stillwell.
Probably the 100th time.
First of all, I'll point out that we've been referring to Miss Gaither as, I believe, Sergeant, and I say that to say that she is not someone that just came off the street, testified, understanding of how the process works, experienced. She's, I'm sure, testified many times before, informed the jurors that her belief is that Mr. Zachary did not want to harm Mr. Stillwell specifically, but that's not my objection. My objection is she testified his intent was to get himself out of trouble by giving truthful information. Absolutely improper. That was vouching for a witness string, and that is the basis for a mistrial. From an expert, I'll point out as well.
From an expert, experienced.
Could and should instruct the jury that as to the witness's opinion about a interviewees. Well, first, my response is we vehemently object to mistrial. Secondly, the court could and should instruct the jury.
Miss Love got some white hairs growing. She's stressing.
A witness's opinion about another witness's statements or testimony or anything that they said, not to be considered by the jury. The jury is the person that determines the credibility of the witnesses. There is nothing about any of the exchange that just occurred that warrants or in any way justifies a mistrial.
There's too much crackling in your voice, man. Now, they so thirsty. I don't know why. But I think really they came after Thug after he tried to, he tried to purchase some land, a big thing of land too. So I don't know, man. That just go to say, man, when you make a certain amount of money, them folks, they're not liking that. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. I think that's why they came after him like that.
At best, an instruction is called for.
What's the mistrial called?
To the question to begin with, and I saw the danger. And
can't do it again.
Not asking that question. That prompted
can't try them with that no more.
That was completely inappropriate.
Yeah, I was confused why Miss Love was going down that line of questioning. It's a very risky line of questioning.
We'll go ahead and take a break, and when we get back, I'm going to have the witness in and instruct her, and then give an instruction to the jury. Can I deny the motion for mistrial? Oh.
So apparently right before they left for the motion, Gaither whispers, "This is never going to end." That's what she says, getting up from the stand.
Time for our morning break anyway.
She just said this is never going to end.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need to instruct you all that this witness's opinion, and frankly any witness's opinion of anybody else's veracity, that is whether they're being truthful or not, is entirely irrelevant. It's frankly inappropriate. Strike that from your minds. It is entirely up to you, the jury, to determine the credibility of any and all witnesses.
When Zachary came in to get one person in trouble and to spare Damikian and Wooby, any objective indicator?
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation, both.
Sustained.
Why is she still doing the same line of questioning?
I didn't have any corroborating information to do so. I tried locating the number 4. To my knowledge, there wasn't an eyewitness that can identify him outside of Quindarius saying that he was there. I didn't have anything else to go on to corroborate what Quindarius stated.
When you say that you didn't, explain why that meant something for you as an investigator.
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Sustained.
55% of you aren't subscribed. What the f***? Hit the subscribe button, boy.
Hit that subscribe button, man. Go check out Cuff Boys, man. Subscribe to Always Awesome Gaming, man. Man, it's free. But yeah, man, I think Miss Love might have lost this one. Fannie Willis, y'all might have lost.
Anyone with $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans may qualify for help from National Debt Relief. Minimum payments could literally...
Well, I'll fix it after this live.
That you investigated during the 2015 period where you were looking at YSL and gang. Was that a usual number of gang-related shootings for you as an investigator?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance. It's the same question.
Defense lawyer's on her ass right now.
To get more corroborating information, that case we were still in the process of working it until we tried to get everyone identified and charged accordingly. We knew that he was involved with YSL members, and
do you recall the number that you obtained for demising Mullen?
Not off the top of my.
First of all, did you keep a file for that case?
The kidnapping case?
Not the kidnapping case, but for the Brownsville Road shooting case.
I did.
And did you have that file after the Atlanta Police Department?
No.
What did you do with that file?
I left it with the Atlanta Police Department in a file cabinet.
In a file cabinet?
Yes, ma'am.
Describe what that file looked like, if you can, to the jury.
Approximately, 7, 8 inches thick. It was reddish brown file folder, binder, had clips in it, a bunch of paperwork.
Wait. I could have swore her and Dennis didn't have a lot of files or some shit. I'm so confused now, dude.
Did you? Okay. And did you recognize that to be the file that you said? Okay. Was showing you a portion of that file refresh your memory as to what phone number that you had?
Your Honor, may we approach?
Are they as confused as me? Wait, hold on. Don't tell me there's a file. Alright, so jury's left the room.
Investigator Gaither, any questions? I would ask the court to inquire of the state when they received this file and how they received this file, because we're completely in the dark.
Okay.
We went over to the Atlanta Police Department.
When? Okay, and so the contents of that file were served whenever that was?
Yes.
So they're saying it was served already.
Suddenly asked Detective Gaither if this was her file.
As I was looking through for a particular number, I was trying to find both that photograph where Mr. Zachary had signed A515
see, this is what I'm saying.
Road photographs. I was looking
There's something fishy going on, man. And this is
sad,
yo.
Because I knew I'd seen
this is what goes on, people. This is how they treat people, man. It's a joke. 3 judges. It's just crazy,
yo. We were getting ready for Mr. Zachary. I remember seeing somebody's handwriting on a picture of someone at the Brownsville Road gas station, the Citgo. So as I was looking for, I started looking for, I said, I remember somebody's signature being on it. I don't remember if I thought it was Mr. Zachary or whomever. In either event, I found this particular, the one that we've entered as, anyway, the one that Mr. Zachary signed. I found that and pulled it out and just started looking at it. I didn't know whose file it was. And in fact, I sent a text message to Detective Dennis on a particular date asking him, whose writing is this, on Thursday of last week. And it was a portion of this file that contained a report about Demise McMullen.
Dude, this is word salad. Spit it out.
And it had Demise McMullen. So I asked Dennis, whose writing is this? I don't see what he wrote me back. But while I was in the back just now, I asked Sergeant Gaither, whose writing is this? And she said, I think I asked her in the, whose writing is this? And I don't remember whether she said it was hers or Dennis's. But I asked her if this looks like her file. And she said, that looks like my file. What's in it? And I said, here. And I showed her what was in the stuff that they were looking at.
So she's saying she figured out it was Gaither's file and didn't notify the defense?
And she said, it looks like my file. And so I came out here, and that's what I asked her. I asked her, did she see that? Did I show her? Did she see it? Does it look like her file? And she's answered the way that the court is aware.
Did you recall at this time that everybody previously thought was that Detective Gaither or Sergeant Gaither's file no longer existed?
Did she recall or did I recall?
Did you recall when you went and asked her, hey, is this your file?
No,
did you remember? I mean, when she was like, yeah, that might be my file, were you like, huh? So it actually exists after all? Or were you like, not even remembering that it didn't exist?
How is this not a mistrial? Shard's gonna be pissed here.
She took the stand. There were specific things that she said she did. They were not in the reports given to us. I'm aware that the state gave us electronic copies of certain documents in 2022. No one's disputing that. She claimed, well, I did do that and I did document it. I wrote reports.
Right.
And I said, well, where are the reports? Because we had discovery and it didn't have any of these reports pertaining to the work she claimed she did. We talked to Judge Glanville about it, and Judge Glanville kind of summarily attributed it to the hack, which I didn't necessarily agree with, but he also told the state, you need to go to APD and make due diligence, your best to find this file. Everyone was looking for this file. And then apparently the state obtained this file and never reported back to the court.
By Glanville to everyone go look for this file and get back to us, and they never got back to anyone when they found it.
Defense counsel, hey, this file that everyone was looking for, last time Investigator Gaither testified, we found it, this is what's in it, here you go. Because my understanding, I haven't looked at it, but other people on the team have, the new discovery that was served does not contain that amount of information from the file. Remember that file that you guys were asking about and Judge Glanville instructed us to go find? We actually went and we found this file. And I just don't know how that happens, that we're learning that this missing file has apparently been discovered. I guess we're going to review it to see. I don't know how we learn about that in the middle of direct testimony. That's just tough for me to reconcile with everyone being above board.
Yikes. This has happened so much. I've been watching this trial for 140 days. This has happened several times.
Too many times.
She said 8-2-22.
And 7-11-22 as well.
Look at all these defense lawyers just like
man, they might gotta win. They gotta have a win.
They got, but it was never identified.
Yeah, man. Trial about to be over, so man. That shit about to be over with. Because it don't make no sense, bro. How many times the prosecutor fucked up? Prosecution, terrible. It's all bad. I got feeling that judge about to spaz out. I ain't, you know, working, man. But she been about to spaz on that.
To indicate, yeah, that might be my file, that you come in and you say to your opposing counsel, hey, you know what, the file of Detective Gaithers that we thought was entirely gone, well, you know what, apparently a part of it is this portion that we sent you 2 years ago. You know, I mean,
I do understand, but I just want to make clear that this is not something that we tried to conceal from anybody, given we served this.
I understand, obviously, if they confirm that they already have the contents, that's not necessarily up for debate. It's just that the knowledge that it's Sergeant Gaithers is new, and when you learn it, it'd be nice to share it with.
Isn't that crazy? A judge has to teach a chief district attorney on how to clarify evidence in one of the biggest, most expensive trials in history.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand what the court is saying, but I do also remember when
they milking the hell out of this case.
About the items that she had in her
time
file.
And time
no one brought to her the discovery that they already had. Said, is this what was in your file?
Apparently nobody knew where this came from.
They knew that this was Detective Gaithers, that this was Sergeant Gaithers' investigation. So I don't.
Discovery would question you for about.
That's not. She said it didn't exist on the stand. That she lost her files.
Was not in the discovery. She claims she did.
Is it?
Okay, and it may still not exist. And we all know, I can't remember the dates of the hack, but we all know because we practice in Fulton County that there was some gigantic, what we call hack of the whole city, and APD legitimately lost a whole lot of files that were never able to be recovered. So, I mean, that's just a fact. I see that.
It's not affect paper files.
I understand that.
Investigator Gaither specifically testified that she wrote reports for certain things, they were in her file, that has now been lost.
Okay, and you can ask her when she said that, what did she mean? Because, like I just said, I mean, all of us in this day and age.
This is not real. I refuse to believe this is real.
Talk about it during the non-jury days we're going to have, but we've got to streamline this case some more. We're just going to have to figure out a faster way to get to what it is that you want from each witness. I mean, in federal court, you know, they might just say you got an hour with this witness.
Do they limit both sides to cross the state?
Oh my God. Miss Love did not ask that question. She didn't. She said, do they limit both the state and the defense? Both sides. This is not a both sides issue. You have 160 witnesses, or 140, whatever it is. I think it actually might be 200. I don't even know.
We'll talk about the witness list next week.
Yes, I understand.
Oh yeah, we'll be done by 10 with this witness, and we haven't even gotten across yet. After having her all day yesterday.
She was here Monday, Judge. 2 days ago. She waited all day and did not testify.
Well, that's not the issue. The issue is how long she's on the stand testifying, and how long every witness is on the stand testifying, and how many witnesses there are in this case. It's just a lot.
Are both sides restricted to an amount of time?
Well, I mean, I would imagine that it's not like they let one side go on forever, but the other side only gets 10 minutes.
It's not a both sides issue. Bro, is this lady like a narcissist or something? The defense rarely takes days on cross. Rarely. She's taken days on days on days on direct.
And given that the state does have the burden of proof now.
I understand that, which is why I haven't done it yet.
The judge is fed up. She's becoming impatient. Hopefully, suddenly there's like, you have 3 hours per witness from now on.
Crazy.
So you better be ready.
She left APD and didn't have any of her files with her. I don't know, with respect to that testimony, if was represented what she said.
That seems to happen a lot, that detectives leave and they don't have access, and then for some reason the DA's office, who would have access, doesn't seem to be able to get it. But that's just my observation from other places.
Detective leaves district attorney's office, Still can't find the files. What is the point of having files if you can't use it to prosecute?
Set of notes within this file that she says is neither her writing nor just Sergeant Detective Dennis's writing. And so what I believe that this is a copy of her file, the copy that was served on July 21st, 2022, and not her actual original. Even the document that I was looking at with respect to the name, so this looks like a copy of hers.
These men are all fighting for their lives.
Yeah, what's going on? So what is she saying? It's not her file? How is this continuing? This isn't real. Miss Love isn't qualified. It's kind of sad. Someone needs to save Miss Love here.
I don't know how we get to a point where we just grab a file and then just throw it in front of a detective, and the detective's like, yeah, looks like my file, in front of a jury. Over a lunch break, then we determine, well, it's actually not her file. Like, and again, none of us were even told about the file before it was even presented in front of the witness. None of this makes any sense. If it's not her file, then it should have never been presented as her file in court.
I know that word's like offensive, but it's actually the only word to describe this. It's
Copy of her file. I mean, why don't we just get her in and ask her?
Okay, we're gonna get Gaither in here. Wonder what Thug's thinking. All this chaos and dumb shit going on.
It looks like paperwork from my case with Dexter Montgomery case. Majority of these documents say copy, so I'm assuming it's a copy.
Why would a copy of your file have been made? Because it's still in, like, you know, folder form.
Why? Yeah. Well, the original, I never give out my original file.
It's a lot of bacalao. Fishy. Man. This is just strange. This is getting crazy. It's a clown show every day. I know the witnesses is like, dude. They probably getting paid for the shit, but still, it's like, man, come on now.
It always starts with a problem.
It's crazy.
To like the DA's office when it's requested through the complaint room or a different attorney, so I will make the copy and give that to them as opposed to the actual file for the actual original folder.
Okay, and you put it in a folder like that brown folder?
Yeah, it would be similar to this. It would have separate things.
Testified, we found it, this is what's in it, here you go, because my understanding, I haven't looked at it, but other people on the team have, the new discovery that was served does not contain that amount of information from the file. Remember that file that you guys were asking about and Judge Glanville instructed us to go find? We actually went and how that happened, that we're learning that this missing file has apparently been discovered. I guess we're going to review it to see. I don't know how we learn about that in the middle of direct testimony. That's just tough for me.
We're never able to be recovered, so, I mean, that's just a fact. I see that.
District Attorney's Office.
YSL.Gaming. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
If you can't use it to prosecute.
Set of notes within this file that she says is neither her writing nor just Sergeant Detective Dennis's writing. And so what I believe that this is a copy of her file, the copy that was served on July 21st, 2022, and not her actual original. Even the document that I was looking at with respect to the name, so this looks like a copy of hers.
These men are all fighting for their lives.
Yeah, what's going on? So what is she saying? It's not her. Someone needs to save Miss Love here.
I filed. We're even told about the file before it was even presented in front of the witness. None of this makes.
Yeah, it would be similar type for
Good witness.
whatever we have for the complaint room. Copies would be made, but the actual original file would not be given.
My understanding is that these copies would be made after arrest, after you close the case, correct?
Not necessarily after arrest. If you're talking about the actual folder, not the contents, I can't say that I initially the folder, but the contents, if a copy was made of a particular document, I will copy with my initials and date.
I don't think this trial is ending in February like people are saying. At this rate, if the judge doesn't do something, this trial is going to be happening in April or May of next year.
Defense attorneys, do you have any questions for Sergeant Gaither about this issue?
All right, jury's back in. Doug Weinstein up for cross now. He's going to ask questions about Yak Gotti, obviously.
In that interview with Mr. Zachary, when he is asked where he got the information about the murder of Donovan Thomas, at one point Zachary says, Yak told me, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then you asked him why. presumably why did Yak tell Zachary that information? You recall asking him why?
I do.
But he didn't respond to that. He did not give you a why as to why Yak would tell Mr. Zachary that. Correct?
Objection, Your Honor. The video is the best evidence of that.
No way Miss Love just said that. Did Miss Love really just say that? And the judge sustained it? She spent all day yesterday said
as to why Yak would tell Mr. Zachary that. Correct?
Objection, Your Honor. The video is the best evidence of that.
no way Miss Love just said that. Did Miss Love really just say that? And the judge sustained it? She spent all day yesterday repeating the video.
After he didn't tell you why.
Objection assumes facts not in evidence.
It's in the video.
Your Honor.
Overruled.
After he didn't tell you why, you didn't follow up at all, did you?
Follow up with what, sir?
You didn't ask him repeatedly why. You did not delve into that further. You let the conversation go a completely
Objection,
different
vague
direction,
and
correct?
compound.
Sustained.
After he failed to answer your question, you did not follow up, correct?
Follow up.
Why?
I'm not
Vague
understanding.
objection. Vague.
Follow up is a very simple
Overruled.
term. After he failed to answer your question as to why, you did not again ask why, correct?
Correct.
What exactly did they say? What exactly did Yak say? Do you recall that?
At what portion of the interview?
In what portion?
You stated that
About
later on.
45 minutes into the interview.
Okay.
Okay. You say, what exactly?
There's some condescending tones from both going on here. Gaither's a difficult witness for the defense.
What exactly did Yak? You don't use the word Yak, but you're referring to Shannon and Yak. Do you remember asking what exactly did they say?
I'm not recalling which context or what part of the interview you're speaking of.
Okay. So you don't remember asking what did they say?
I don't know.
I just want to ask. You don't remember?
Objection, Your Honor. Number one, that last question is harassing. It was asked and answered. And number two, that if Mr. Weinstein has something to, she says she doesn't recall it. Nobody's talking about.
I can move on. It's fine. I'll withdraw the question. Mr. Zachary never told you in that interview exactly what Yak said, correct?
He did.
I'm sorry?
He did.
He did. What did he tell you that Yak said?
From the best of my recollection, he stated that Yak told him about the murder as well.
But you asked what exactly did he say, right? That's what you asked him. What did Yak say? For example, correct?
I asked him what did Yak say, yes.
Right. What did Quindarius Zachary say that Shannon told Zachary?
That they called Nut Down Bad, and he also stated that Yak told him the people that were involved with the murder, the names. That's in the interview as well. That he stated Yak said.
But you didn't get an exact quote like that. You got nothing like that, correct? You didn't get it. Right?
Objection, vague.
Sustained.
You did not get a quote from Zachary, correct? You didn't get an exact quote like that, correct?
Objection, vague.
Sustained.
You did not get a quote from Zachary about what Yak allegedly said the same way that you got a quote from Zachary about what Shannon allegedly said, correct?
Objection, relevance, and objection.
How is that not relevant? He's pointing out that she never got clear answers pertaining to what exactly was said.
I understand this question. He gave me the names of the people that were involved. He did not elaborate more about exactly what Yak said.
Okay, but could you answer the question that I asked?
What's your question again, sir?
Can I have the court reporter read the question back? So you didn't really ask Zachary a lot of detail as to the specific information that Mr. Kendrick, Yak, allegedly said to Mr. Zachary, correct?
Specifically, he stated the names that Yak told him that were involved.
When you are asking Zachary about Diamante Kendrick, you didn't, for example, ask Zachary the reasons that Yak may have disclosed that information to Zachary?
Objection, that would have called for speculation that she would not have been able to, that would not be admissible anyway unless it came from.
You can ask the question.
An objection relevance as to whether she would have asked Mr. Zachary to speculate about what is in Mr. Kendrick's mind.
She asked Mr. Zachary lots of questions about reasons and motivations for people doing things.
Judge is shooting down all Miss Love's terrible objections.
I believe Mr. Quindarius offered information about your client.
Okay, but can you answer my question?
What's your question again?
Would the court reporter please read the question back?
Gaither is like being evasive. Like, this is the definition of a difficult witness right here. It's kind of crazy because she's an expert, but yet she's not really testifying truthful here. Like, she's being difficult and evasive.
Ask Mr. Speaker. Sorry?
No, it's not. On the video, no, I didn't.
I'm sorry?
No, I did not.
Okay. That one of the ways you corroborated the information that Mr. Zachary gave you was because Zachary, Sledge, and Turner all were from Capitol Homes. Do you recall that?
How I corroborated information?
Yes.
I don't believe I answered. Corroboration came from them because they were from Capitol Home.
That wouldn't make any sense, would it?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance and
Overruled.
That wouldn't make any sense, would it?
To who?
To anyone that you corroborate information because they are from Capitol Homes.
Your Honor, objection. Number one, it mischaracterizes the testimony.
Sustained.
Coming from Capitol Homes, them being Zachary, Sledge, and Turner corroborate anything.
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Overruled.
Would that corroborate anything, the fact that they are from Capitol Homes?
Are we talking about something specific involved in this case?
This was your testimony. Sorry. This was your testimony from this morning. I'm just trying to ask you a question. Would Zach
Prosecution looking stupid. Once again. Should have retired it. I don't understand it. What I do. They playing real dirty in Fulton County.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. You just need a concept and a way to record it. Here's how it works. First,
Zachary, Sledge, and Turner, coming from Capitol Homes, corroborate anything.
Objection. Mischaracterizes her testimony.
It's not mischaracterizes. You pointed out earlier that they're all from the same fucking apartment building or whatever. Apparently, because there's 3 people from the same apartment building proves a crime. Shard up for cross?
It's the lead investigator of the Dexter Montgomery case shooting back in 2015. Do you remember the names Cornelius Davis and Christian James?
Objection, Your Honor. These were covered months ago. The same question was asked and answered.
We're calling it for the jury and for the witness.
Go ahead.
Can't let defense lawyer establish something from months ago, Miss Love? Isn't that ironic? You do the most at all times.
What the case, the charges are. The more actual ones, I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
Everything he was charged with.
Aggravated battery for shooting Denise Bell.
If you have something that can refresh my memory, I don't know of all of the exact charges
Okay,
off the top of my head.
All right. Did you charge with aggravated battery?
Your Honor, the question has been asked and answered. If Mr. Sharp would provide something, she's asking for something to refresh her memory.
She said she doesn't know the exact charges, so I'm trying to work through it with her. Do you recall charging him with aggravated battery for shooting Denise Bell?
Yes, I'm speaking of when you say counts, I can't recall how many exact counts is
I
what I'm
understand,
saying.
and I'm not going to press you on that. Criminal damage to property.
Okay.
Was that gang charges?
It sounds about right. I don't know off the top of my head everything that he was charged with.
You charge him with gang charges, gang act violations?
Yes.
And you charge him with possession of firearm during commission of a felony?
That sounds about right.
At the time, on August 5th, from July 28, 2015, when he was arrested to August 5th, he didn't have a bond, right?
I don't recall.
Okay.
She is not being a good witness.
I would object under 403 since the jury just heard this entire interview and ask that if there's a question.
What did she just say? Miss...
I don't recall.
Okay.
She is not being a good witness.
I would object under 403 since the jury just heard this entire interview and ask that if there's a question.
What did she just say? Miss Love objecting under 403? Dude, she has some nerve saying something's a waste of time.
That the question be posed, but this portion of the entire interview has been played for the jury.
He claimed to have information about the shooting, though, correct?
Your Honor, this has been asked, answered, and shown.
Your Honor, I have not asked this
It
witness.
doesn't matter whether you particularly have asked. It's already been asked.
State. I'm not trying to argue with the court, please. I mean, I've been up here
If
for
we
5
already
minutes.
have the answer, just move on to something that you don't have the answer to.
That's not a good look for the judge.
Zachary told you that Demekion told him all about what happened, correct? Demekion Garlington.
About what, sir? Which
April
portion?
28, 2015 shooting. Sergeant Gaither.
I don't believe that was exactly what he said.
Your Honor, may I play the video?
You may.
Thank you. Can we publish 41A after seeing that video?
Mm-hmm.
You would agree that Mr. Zachary first said he wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But he said he had information about what happened, right?
Yes.
And he said he got that information because Demekion came over his house and confessed it all the next day.
Your Honor,
He didn't use
I object to the best evidence, and so
Did you finish your
And
question?
he claimed his source of information was not from being there, but from Demekion telling him the next day.
Correct. And also that portion, the first story that he just told about Demekion telling him and all of this was a lie, that he was actually there.
I'm not asking if it's true. That's what he told
Yes,
us
that's what he told me.
Zeta Gaither is insufferable.
on what he was saying, correct? You
Your
challenged him.
objection under 403 that just heard, and she's been asked.
Okay. He's trying to do his. So I'm going to overrule that one.
Thank you.
You challenged him, correct?
Yes.
He told you in the interview room he was being honest, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. They saw it on the other clip, so best evidence.
Sustained.
Okay. He promised you he wasn't there, correct?
You can't ask anything. Miss Love is just objecting to everything when she does the same thing. This is actually insane. This is not letting him get a cross-examination going at all. He's only been out there for what, like 20-30 minutes? Miss Love takes days.
I object. Best evidence. The jury has seen it.
He
Asked and answered.
If it's best evidence, I will gladly play the clip. Is that
Your Honor, they've already seen it. This has been asked and answered.
Sustained.
all right?
I don't know why the judge isn't letting them get anything going. How is this fair?
You never charged Trevante Turner or Lee Caldwell with anything regarding April 28, 2015, correct?
Your Honor, I object based on asked and answered, and or asked and answered in depth.
Overruled.
No, there was no corroborating evidence to say that they were involved.
In the 9.5 years that have passed since April 28, 2015, you never charged Shannon Stillwell with any of these incidents from April 28, 2015, did you?
I've been retired since 2020.
Okay, so from April 28, 2015 to your retirement date in 2020,
This lady is
you never charged Shannon
ridiculous.
Stillwell with any of the events from April 28, 2015.
I don't know.
Did Quindarius Zachary ever claim to be on 285 or the highway when any buses were shot?
I don't believe so.
Okay, did he ever claim to be a witness to the actual shooting?
No.
He did tell you that someone was in a Camaro with Jimmy Winfrey, but he could not identify that person, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. Best evidence.
I mean, they can't have it both ways, Judge. They can't stop me from playing the video and then complain when I don't play the video.
Your Honor, they just saw the video, so objection is to a waste. If we want to continue and expedite.
If you can answer the question.
Do you know of Shannon Stillwell ever being charged with the Little Wayne bus shooting?
Objection, relevance and hearsay and relevance.
Sustained as to relevance.
Quindarius Zachary, in that interview in August 2015, claimed that Demise McMullen, also known as Nard, made statements to him about the Donovan Thomas murder, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But at other parts of the interview, and I'm specifically referring to, he told you, Nard didn't tell me nothing. Isn't that correct?
Is that within the context of the murder?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Also told you during the interview that he did not hear Nard say anything about it. Speaking of the Donovan Thomas, isn't that correct?
That's what he said in the video.
Okay. Quindarius Zachary told you that Nard confessed, or, well, I'm going to use his words, confessed at Thug's house. And he also told you in that same interview, Nard didn't say anything about it, and he did not hear Nard say anything about it. Isn't that correct?
That's what the video states, sir.
Okay. Quindarius Zachary said something did happen, then said it didn't happen in the same interview.
He's finding a nice little...
Said something to him, and then later on in the interview saying Mike McMullen did not say anything to him. Do you find that to be pretty consistent?
In the majority of Mr. Zachary's interview, he was consistent with the statements that he made.
That was good enough? From your point of view? Be pretty consistent?
Vague.
Always awesome game. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
What is local news?
It's connection.
It's
And then, of course, Mr. Zachary asked, can you release me on house arrest? Right?
Okay, yes.
On August 5th, 2015, you told Mr. Zachary, I'm going to get on the phone with the DA ASAP. You have my word. Correct?
Yes.
Hold on. Haven't they been saying? Pretty sure Love asked her questions on Direct about never promising people shit in interviews and stuff like that. That's contradicting.
Horrible.
Wait. Who just said horrible? What?
Horrible.
Oh, that was... I'm pretty sure that was Gaither. I can tell by the fucking diabetic breathing into the... Oh, that was... Wait, who just said horrible? What?
Horrible.
Oh, that was... I'm pretty sure that was Gaither. I can tell by the fucking diabetic breathing into the microphone. It's a joke, relax. If you're actually diabetic watching this, I'm just joking, but...
You saw pictures?
Saw pictures of what?
Instagram pictures, postings, concert flyers,
Of what, sir?
Mr. Williams and Mr. Donovan Thomas.
During those times of October, November,
Fall 2014, September, October, November, December, going into the beginning of January.
if I eventually saw pictures of them, I believe there was videos or something like that.
Rich Homie Quan, you know who that is, Mr. Lamar?
I've heard of them, yes.
Same thing, performing with Mr. Williams in the fall of 2014, going into January 2015.
I don't know of exact dates, no.
All right. Now, Mr. Zachary told you when we watched it, he told you that this was really a battle, whatever, war with, he called him Woody, but Kenneth Copeland, and he said Shell but Mr. Kelvin Watts. True?
Yes.
And that Jeffrey and Donovan Thomas were friends during this. True?
I don't recall him saying they were friends.
Okay. I'm going to get you some. Do you know the transcript, or would you like to see the recording?
Whatever you want to show me.
Do you remember? I'm going to have to find it for a second. Do you remember Mr. Zachary telling you that Jeffrey's not involved in Donovan Thomas's killing?
He stated he didn't know that it happened until after it happened.
Did he tell you, do you remember the prosecutor asking you about whether Jeffrey didn't give an F about Donovan Thomas's death, and then Mr. Zachary giving an answer? Do you remember those questions?
Yes, sir.
That was actually Detective Dennis who said that Jeffrey didn't give a F. True?
I don't know.
Your Honor.
Okay.
Withdrawn.
Detective Dennis asking Mr. Zachary in your presence what was a thug like, meaning after the death of Donovan Thomas, right?
Yes.
And the answer, Mr. Zachary said, SHI, he was normal. Is that what you just heard?
Yes.
And then Detective Dennis said he didn't give no FU blank K, right?
Yes.
And then Mr. Zachary said, I mean, he cared. Like why
is she huffing and puffing on the stand in front of the jury? It's not the defense that keeps calling her. It's the state. She should be mad at the state.
But then, I guess, they told him that Nut said it's a go. They really be, and would he really be holding back? Is that what you heard?
Sure. I think we all heard it.
Okay. So, when the prosecutor was asking you earlier, Jeffrey Williams was, this is my word, insensitive. That's not what Mrs. Zachary said, right?
I object to the mischaracterization of anything that...
All right, well, the questions aren't evidence anyway, and he said it was his word, so overruled.
That he was insensitive, I don't recall hearing that.
And it said that, I guess, they told him Nut said it's a go. But would he really be holding back? And he goes on to, would he lies? Or little Mr. Copeland, right? Lies to Jeffrey. That's what it was about, correct?
I don't believe he said Woody lies to Mr. Williams.
From looking at social media, Jeffrey Williams put forth a rest in peace social media platform announcement, didn't he?
What are we talking about again?
January 11th, 2015, very early in the morning, 3 or 4 in the morning. You're aware that Jeffrey Williams paid tribute to Donovan Thomas, right?
I'm not aware.
Well, speaking of defense, let's talk about defense for a second off the court. The security team for the Atlanta Hawks. One of them in particular, Lakia Gaither, it is her second season with the Atlanta Hawks, and she is one of only 2 female security guards in the entire NBA. It's pretty incredible. She served 18 and a half years for the Atlanta Police Department. After that, worked for 2 months for the DA's office, got the call from the Atlanta Hawks.
Thug's sister tweets, this is why she was always so nasty us when we came to the games. Wow. Just wow. I asked her at a game before, why do you talk to us so aggressively and rude? She ignored me and continued to be aggressive and rude. This shit is mind-blowing. Very professional detective. Atlanta Hawks should be ashamed of themselves, boys.
Yes, but not in that context that you're using for, sir.
Okay, you've seen that posting before?
I've seen that posting on Nut's page before, yes. I don't recall what any of the captions stated for the picture, but I do recall seeing the picture before.
Okay, let's put aside the picture just for a moment.
Sir, I just answered that I don't recall the exact words of the captions, but I have seen that photograph posted to Mr. Thomas's Instagram page.
I understand. Put aside the picture. Have you read, understand you don't have a verbatim memory, have you read that posting that went along with the picture while during this investigation? That's my question.
Your Honor, number one, I object. The witness has stated that she's seen the photograph on Donovan Thomas's page. She has not seen the photograph in the context that was presented to her.
How do we know? This is inappropriate.
Sustained. You may re-ask the question. Overruled. You may ask.
Miss Love, yapping when she shouldn't be. Brian Steele says it's inappropriate. Judge agrees, shoots it down.
I have seen the photograph, and I have seen a caption under the photograph. I do not recall what the caption actually stated.
Does that refresh your memory of what you previously saw or read?
It does not.
Jeffrey Williams was not involved in that bus tour shoot of the Lil Wayne bus tour, right?
He said he was not there, yes.
Not there and didn't know about it until the next day.
Correct.
In fact, Mrs. Zachary went further and said that Jeffrey Williams idolizes Dwayne Carter or Lil Wayne, right?
Yes.
When asked whether Jeffrey Williams is the leader of a criminal street gang, YSL, Mrs. Zachary said, no, he is not, right?
I don't recall asking that or hearing that.
Is asked whether Jeffrey ordered the killing of Mr. Thomas, right?
Yes.
And his answer is no, right?
Yes. Well, Mr. Zachary went into who started it. Just because you don't start a gang doesn't mean you're not a leader.
Yeah, but Mr. Zachary also told you throughout this entire meeting with
what the fuck?
That Jeffrey Williams was not involved in the killing of Donovan Thomas. In fact, you learned about it later. Right? Williams is the leader
so dumb.
of a criminal street gang.
That sounded like some
Mr.
hate
Zachary
shit.
said, no, he is not, right?
I don't recall asking that or hearing that.
Is asked whether Jeffrey ordered the killing of Mr. Thomas, right?
Sure.
Yes.
And his answer is no, right?
Yes. Well, Mr. Zachary went into who started it. Just because you don't start a gang doesn't mean you're not a leader.
Yeah, but Mr. Zachary also told you throughout this entire meeting with you that Jeffrey Williams was not involved in the killing of Donovan Thomas. In fact, you learned about it later, right?
Yes, he said that.
And that Mr. Williams was not involved, as we just said.
Gaither ain't gonna like this line of questioning. Watch her get a little sassy here.
Of the little bus tour, or excuse me, Lil Wayne bus tour, right?
Yes, he said that.
And in fact, that Jeffrey Williams rented cars for a lot of people, right?
I don't recall a lot of people, those words. No, he said Mr. Williams had a show or something, and then they all decided to go. It wasn't a pre-plan.
Were you kept abreast at times of what Detective Thorpe was doing on the case?
Not all the time, no.
Did you, at times, keep Detective Thorpe abreast of what you were doing on the case?
If it was something that I felt was pertinent to his investigation, yes, I would tell him if we found out.
Right.
If we found out new information that I felt would help him, yes, I would tell him.
Were you aware at and around October 20th, 2015, until the day that you left the gang unit, that Detective Thorpe swore out warrants for Kenneth Copeland for the murder of Donovan Thomas?
Was I aware the day? The day that he did it? No.
Were you aware of it at the time before you left the gang unit?
At some point, I did know.
It would be bad form to allow potential witnesses to get together and speak before law enforcement officers spoke with them. Do you remember something like that?
Bad form? What do you mean bad form?
It's bad procedure. The witnesses can taint each other if they get together.
Yes, I believe that to be true.
And that's why at times when police come onto a scene, they try to separate, if they can, witnesses. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Because you want the most pure statement from each witness and not some sort of, even innocently, tampering or tainting of witnesses.
Correct, independent recollection of incident.
Now, in this case, do you remember on June 10, 2015, explaining to Mr. Copeland that you and your coworkers needed to corroborate, that's a bad word though, but needed to find whether there was information to support what he was saying about you remember having those conversations with him?
Yes.
And do you remember Mr. Copeland saying Mr. Darlington would be a good source of corroboration? Something like that?
Yes.
And do you remember Detective Thorpe, your coworker, whatever, APD, lead homicide detective on this matter, being present with you and Detective Dennis during this time? Of that
Not saying he wasn't, but I don't recall.
Do you remember it being discussed where Detective Thorpe, in your presence, and Detective Dennis explained that he would allow Mr. Copeland and Mr. Darlington to speak on a non-recorded line before Mr. Darlington spoke to the police?
This is what Investigator Thorpe said? No, I don't recall that.
You're saying that this is not from the McDonald's to Science?
So I don't know where you're going with this. I'm kind of confused. You're showing two different clips with two different contexts.
Well, if you don't remember, that's fine.
I just stated I'm confused because this is two separate clips from two totally separate parts of the interview.
Sure. But does this help you to tell the jury that Mr. Copeland told you that he followed Mr. O.G. Bentley or Kelvin Treadwell to Jeffrey's home from McDonald's? It doesn't help you just say that.
Sir, we all just heard him just say that, but in the context that you're putting it in, it's a little confusing because this is two separate parts of the interview.
Well, from your knowledge of the interview and this case, is that what Mr. Copeland said?
That's what he just stated on there, yes.
Okay. Then I want to go back to the original question I asked about interviewing Mr.
She just said this dude is horrible, I think. Bro, get this big broad off the damn stand.
Big Shout out to Cup boy. That nigga hell, bro. Oh man, bro. It was a clown case. Clown show of a clown case, man. Wow. I can already hear the jury like, not guilty.
Okay.
Not guilty.
Today, the incredible new iPhone 16 Pro built from the ground up for Apple Intelligence.
We good on that, bro.
Damn, bro. She needs her damn McDouble for the day.
I want to go back to the original question I asked about interviewing Mr.
I think she said steal.
I want to go back to the original question I asked about interviewing Mr.
I mean, I know I'm joking around and calling her names and shit, but she's just not professional. Like, this is just ridiculous. You're one of the lead detectives on this case.
I don't believe I stated...
I'm sorry to interrupt, Judge. May we approach briefly, please?
Yes.
Did one of them... Someone might have heard that.
Address the witness and speak to the witness, and also, quite frankly, to speak to the DA as well. Because of the way everyone's positioned, they're obviously closer to the jury than anybody else. Their microphones are live, and what they say can be picked up on a microphone. A couple of times...
Sorry, who? What the state says at their table?
And what the witness is saying. And there have been at least 3 occasions where the witness has, either before or after a question, muttered something and said something into the microphone that can be picked up.
Well, I certainly haven't heard it. I can barely hear the answers.
I am not the only one who's heard it. At that last exchange, I heard her say something, I couldn't make out what she said, into the microphone. I guess she was frustrated after the question, and it's being picked up by the microphone, and if I can hear her muttering over here, whatever she's saying can be heard to the jury. And it's just inappropriate. I think it's simple enough to tell her to not make any extraneous comments that could possibly be picked up by the jury. Same thing for the state. And we've actually addressed this before prior to this court's involvement in the case, where there have been times where the state, either out of frustration or who knows why they're doing it, says something, or they're making faces and they're saying something that can be picked up by the microphone, and because they're that close to the jury, I'm sure the jury can hear it too. So I'm just asking, as I've asked before, and as they have been told before, to be mindful of the things that they say and the fact that it can be picked up by the jury.
And that's why I love Keith Adams right there. Miss Love was making faces today still.
I heard this because I was in the middle of everything, and I've been told by multiple sources that once my cross-examination was finished and Mr. Steele was going to begin, the witness said, horrible, horrible, horrible.
What?
And she's sitting right next to the jury.
If the witness and or the state is saying things like that and the jury hears them, I cannot imagine that that reflects well on either of them.
It wasn't the state, but it was the witness.
I would ask that presumptions based on assertions by counsel for opposing for the defendants not be taken as true and then spoken as if they are.
What? What is she talking about? It's on camera. This she's not real. It's an assertion.
I have no idea what Mr. Adams is talking about. I have not heard any mutterings. I don't know what Mr. Shard is talking about. The state does not have the luxury to sit here and say what it believes someone from the defense is doing without it being cut off quickly. So I ask that the court not act on what is being asserted by counsel for the defendants as we stop these proceedings to address something nobody heard but apparently Mr. Adams.
Oh my, I hate her. Oh my god, I can't say what I want to say on YouTube. Holy shit. Think about other trials Miss Love has been a part of that no one saw. That's the scary part. She's been doing this for 30 years. Let's all settle in that statement.
Very scary.
Fortunately, this trial is televised.
You know what? I'm going to stick with what I said before, which is if a witness wants to present themselves in that way.
Shard said, fortunately, it's televised. Yep, thank God it's televised.
In front of the jury, that is a reflection on that witness, and the jury can evaluate that. So, no, I'm not going to advise her or any other witness one way or another. Depends on what they say, and I didn't actually hear anything. But, no, if she wants to make derogatory comments, then that is a poor reflection on her. And the jury, if they heard it, will notice it. Was that basically just about this witness?
It was about the witness and about the prosecution. And let's be clear.
Who's doing this, or you believe is doing something like this right now?
Yes, and who has done it before. I'm not just saying that. The court has addressed it before, because it's happened before, so we're not making this up. She was admonished previously by the prior court to stop doing that.
And you're saying she's doing it again, and it is making faces in her comments.
Making faces, making comments. It can be picked up by the microphone. These mics are live. And as Mr. Shard pointed out, luckily, this trial is being televised and live.
I don't know why that's lucky, because the jury's not going to watch the live stream.
I'm not talking about it. I'm saying...
I mean, the jury is the one deciding this case.
The person making the complaint about the behavior is the defendants. And I'm in support of what I'm saying. I'm telling you that we are not the only ones who have noticed this. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. So I don't know if that means y'all want to turn off your mic, because we're in a big, awkward courtroom where nobody can hear anybody sometimes, but then apparently people can hear mutterings under the breath other times. So
she's showing her true colors now.
We all heard that big sassy broad say something. So this is
that big old, big sassy, big old sassy broad.
Is the calling number, and that is demise moment, or the number associated with the demise. And
big sassy broad.
4 is associated to Jeffrey Williams.
So Nard called Thug at some point.
Sure, y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. That big sassy broad.
Who is 2643 associated with?
Oh boy.
After Kevin oversees that call, who is the next phone?
The Thug called OG Bentley? This isn't very clear. So I can't keep track of whose number is who. There's no way. There's no way the jury knows. Oh wait, that notes. Oh, the name's right here, but it's blurry for us. I can't see the names or phone numbers really, so that's good.
Who is the next call that Kevin Treadwell calls after receiving that phone call from 3904?
The first call is McMullen placing a call to Williams.
They brought the big ass boards out.
Sustained.
Someone objected to him saying certain names or calling each other, but they literally have a big board in front of the jury with the names associated with phone numbers. So this is very absolute chaos. Guess what? No court for a full week. And then when we come back next Wednesday in 7 days, there's no jury on Wednesday or Thursday. They come back that Friday in 9 days. I don't know why. I don't understand any of that. This trial is never ending. I hate Gaither. I hate Miss Love. Hit subscribe if you hate both of them as well. Don't forget, go to Semper.com and get 55% off your first month.
Oh man, it's a shit show, man. I want to see some more. Like, this shit is ridiculous, bro. Yeah. Let's see. The state is definitely trash. She's trash. Shit, man. She better be careful at that motherfucking stadium up that motherfucker. That shit is crazy. This judge, I started off liking him, but now I don't really like her that much. I gotta be truthful. Let's see what this lady talking about Cadillac law. Wowzers. Talking about maybe because she what you call it, I can't damn dude, I don't understand how they could get in that courtroom and embarrass themselves like that. Love might as well retire after this. Either way, I know they make good money. But damn, bro, like this shit is it's stupid. It's the dumbest case I ever seen as far as RICO go. You know what I'm saying? Crackhead driving a woman on the hood of a car. Yeah, that's wild, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna double back. This has been a new viewer, the new for the YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the bell twice for post notifications.